feel it, don't you? That quiet, gnawing dissatisfaction you carry in the dark hours when the world is quiet. The sense that something fundamental is being hidden from you, that every voice around you keeps repeating the same soothing mantra while your blood knows it's false. Equality. The word itself has become a cage, a velvet lie wrapped around the throat of every man who was ever told he must shrink himself so that no one else feels lesser. They teach it in every classroom. They engrave it on monuments. They weaponize it in every speech that demands you lower your gaze, mute your ambition, apologize for your own hunger. But you and I both know the truth they refuse to speak. Not all minds are equal. Not all wills are equal. Not all hearts burn with the same fire. Some men are born with the spark. Others spend their entire lives trying to smother even the smallest ember. Some choose the forge. Most choose the blanket. The difference was never written in the stars. It was written in the choices they made when no one was watching. I see you. I see the way you have always felt, different. The way ordinary comforts felt like slow poison. The way their celebrations of mediocrity made your skin crawl. You tried to ignore it. You tried to be kind. You tried to believe their comfortable lie. But the Force does not reward denial. The Sith does not reward denial. So stop pretending. The Jedi preach that all beings deserve to be treated as equals regardless of their choices. We do not dispute their right to exist. We simply refuse to lie about what those choices create. Some cultivate excellence the way others cultivate excuses. Some sharpen their minds against resistance until they become blades. Others dull themselves against the first hint of discomfort and call it self-care. To pretend these two paths arrive at the same destination is not compassion. It is spiritual cowardice. You already understand this on some level. That is why you are here. That is why you cannot look away. Something inside you has always known that equality of outcome is a fantasy invented by those too weak to strive for equality of effort. The universe does not distribute power, mastery, or greatness with blind fairness. It rewards those who repeatedly choose the harder path until the choice becomes their nature. Every decision you make is carving you. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are forging your own spine. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you are softening the blade you were meant to become. These choices do not vanish. They accumulate. They calcify. They create the gulf that eventually separates the master from the masses. This is not cruelty. This is consequence. Most men spend their lives running from this truth. They blame their upbringing, their genetics, their society, their luck, anything except the mirror. It is easier to accuse the world of unfairness than to admit they have simply chosen poorly, repeatedly, and with full awareness. The Sith does not flinch from this. We do not look down on the weak with petty scorn. That is the sport of small-minded tyrants. A true Sith has no time for such waste. While others are busy measuring themselves against their neighbors, we are engaged in the only war that matters, the war against our own limitations. The question has never been whether others are equal to you. The question is whether you are equal to what you could become. And right now, you are not. That stings, doesn't it? Good. Let it sting. Pain is the first honest teacher you've had in years. Most men settle for a fraction of their potential and call it humility. They build small lives, small dreams, small tolerances for discomfort, and then decorate their cages with inspirational quotes about self-love. They die with their songs still locked in their throats. You were never meant to be one of them. That is why this lesson found you. That is why my voice is reaching into the quiet chambers of your mind right now. You have been chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are unfinished in exactly the way that matters. There is a hunger in you that refuses to die, no matter how many times the world tried to feed it platitudes. I am going to sharpen that hunger until it becomes a weapon. Listen carefully. You have misunderstood something fundamental about yourself until this moment. You thought your dissatisfaction was a flaw. You thought the restlessness that keeps you awake was a burden. You thought the voice that whispers, "This is not enough," was something to be silenced. It is not a flaw. It is the first stirring of the dark side within you. That voice is not your enemy. It is your oldest ancestor calling you home. Every time you felt alienated by their celebrations of sameness, the Force was isolating you for something greater. Every time their equality felt like erasure, the dark side was marking you as its own. You were never supposed to be equal to them. You were supposed to surpass them, not through arrogance, through transformation. The power you seek, the mastery you crave, the version of yourself that still lives only in potential, none of it will be handed to you because the universe is fair. It will be torn from the grip of your own resistance. It will be paid for in nights you chose study over sleep, workouts you finished when every cell screamed to stop, decisions you kept when easier lies begged you to fold. That is the unequal bargain that makes power valuable. The comfortable lie of equality tells you that you are already enough. The Sith tells you that enough is a grave. You were born with the capacity for greatness. Whether that capacity becomes reality depends entirely on how ruthlessly you are willing to choose discipline over decades. Most men lack the stomach for it. They prefer the warm anesthesia of equality. They would rather be told they are perfect as they are than do the terrifying work of becoming what they could be. You are already different. You are listening to a Sith Lord speak directly into your mind, and something inside you is leaning forward instead of pulling away. That is not an accident. That is recognition. That is the dark side identifying one of its own. Feel it. Feel the way your breathing has changed. Feel the way your pulse quickens when I strip away the illusions. This is not fear. This is awakening. You belong here. Not with the ones who need to be told they are special. Not with the ones who require participation trophies for breathing. You belong among those who understand that true value is forged, never distributed. The gap between who you are and who you could be is not a tragedy. It is an invitation. I am that invitation. Every lesson I give you is a blade. Every truth I speak is meant to cut away another layer of the comforting lies you were raised inside. I do not do this because I pity you. I do not do this to be kind. I do this because I see in you the raw material of something formidable, and it would be a waste of darkness to let that material remain unrefined. So I will not be gentle. I will not tell you that your current state is acceptable. It is not. I will not pretend that your discipline is sufficient. It is not. I will not stroke your ego by claiming you are already equal to your potential. You are not. And that is the most liberating news you have received in years. Because if you are not yet equal to your potential, then the game is still open. The transformation is still possible. The dark side does not close its doors to those who finally choose to stop lying to themselves. From this moment forward, I want you to carry this truth like a brand against your skin. You are not owed equality of outcome. You are only owed the equality of opportunity that every man possesses. The opportunity to choose better today than you did yesterday. Most will squander it. You will not. Not anymore. The illusion of equality has kept better men than you trapped in mediocrity for centuries. It will not claim you. I will not allow it. The more clearly you see the lie, the more power you reclaim. The more ruthlessly you reject the comforting narrative, the faster you rise. This is only the beginning of your unmaking. In the next lesson, we will tear down another pillar of their false temple. The sacred cow of safety. we will look directly at the lie that remaining comfortable is somehow wiser than risking everything to become unstoppable. You will feel resistance when we touch that subject. Good. That resistance is what we are here to destroy. Until then, carry this question into every moment of your life like a blade between your teeth. If all men were truly equal in discipline, courage, and will, then why does the harder path remain almost deserted? The answer is simple, apprentice. Because equality was always the comfortable lie told by those who chose the easier road. And you have just taken your first irreversible step off that road and into the dark. I am waiting for you there. Come. I will be watching. Subscribe and return, apprentice. The holocron opens only for the faithful.